All right, this is Everything Goes with T and K here. Man, do we have some hot notes for you today. I can't tell if it's just hot in here or if it's hot because Josh Donaldson just made some bench clearing brawl.
It's hot in here.
All right, guys, stay tuned.
Been lit, boy. Everything goes.
We now return you to regular programming.
All right, so before we get deep into the podcast today, some headline and news today in the MLB world would be that David Ortiz was shot Sunday at a club in Santo Domingo. He's currently being transported to Boston's hospital in Massachusetts.
Yeah, which is cool. The Red Sox actually sent a plane over for him to pick him up and get him back home over here so they can get better care for him.
It's just crazy. I don't know why somebody would want to shoot David Ortiz. Like, it doesn't seem like he's like a crazy man.
And you know, it's just he had his back to the guy. He's just sitting at the bar minding his own business, and the guy walks up and shoots him point blank range.
Yeah, the surveillance video was a little crazy.
They had a little street justice for that one guy they captured.
Yeah, so they said there was two suspects, the guy that was on the motorcycle and the guy that hopped off and shot him. And they said the guy on the motorcycle got captured by the people at the bar and was pretty much beat pretty bad. He actually had severe injuries, had to go to the hospital. I actually stumbled across that video by accident on Twitter. But he was in...
He's a celebrity, you know.
He's born there. He's from there.
He does a lot for the community. He does a lot for the kids over there. And for this to happen, it's going to change his life forever.
He was operated for 6 hours, and part of his intestines and his colon was removed, and he currently has liver damage. But they said that he's not like fully good right now, but he's stable enough to be transported.
Yeah.
But that's I could see happening here. I could see this like being a huge momentum twist for the Boston Red Sox now.
Yeah, they're going to win the World Series for David. It's going to happen. They're going to go on like a 15-game win streak starting tonight. I mean, they're kicking off a series with the Texas Rangers, so it's a good way to start it.
No, but in all seriousness, like, prayers out to David Ortiz. Like, that's just something you don't want to see on the news. It was crazy waking up and seeing that. It's just something you never wish upon somebody.
And it stinks because a lot of these guys, like, they deal with things, like, especially in Venezuela and places like that, where they have people that get their family kidnapped, and it forces them to pay these guys to let their family go. And, you know, guys go back to their own countries, and they try to do good with their countries. And you see a lot of this where the guys get robbed. Or who was that pitcher for Kansas City went back home?
He got in a car accident, and instead of helping him, the people were robbing him as he was dying.
I mean, that is crazy.
Right before we started the podcast, though, I saw something where it was like certain players were being interviewed, and they said that's why our mom doesn't let us go back to our countries because crazy stuff like this can happen. And it's crazy that stuff like this happens anyway.
Well, he's well known. People know he has money, and someone said that they don't even know if he was the guy that was meant to get shot. It could have been wrong place, wrong time, whatever.
And that's what his dad says. Dad said, "Why would anyone even want to shoot my son?"
Yeah.
But moving on from that, in all seriousness, we wish the best for him, even though we're Yankees fans. David Ortiz is a great man, a great player. But moving on from that situation, not too long ago, Dallas Keuchel signed with the Braves a 1-year, $13 million deal. And as a Yankees fan, we were hoping that he'd sign with the Yankees. But
the Yankees came up cheap again. They didn't offer him what he wanted.
But they offered him $11.6 million. That's why I don't understand. There's like, what, $2 million difference
Doesn't matter. He took the bigger deal, and he's going to get 13 from the Braves, and I think it's 22 after 21 after everything's said and done.
I think he preferred the Braves probably a little bit too, just because, you know, now he gets to keep his beard. He gets to do whatever he wants to his hair.
Yeah, but I think he has his best shot to win a World Series with the Yankees.
But also,
the way the Yankees have been going the last couple of games, they're 5-5 in their last 10 games.
But it's also for him though. He played in the Houston, and now he's playing in Atlanta, so he stays in the warm weather, which maybe he likes. But over his last 20 starts of 2018, he posted a 3.2 ERA after struggling to begin the season. So, I mean, Atlanta is getting a good veteran lefty in their rotation. He's a 2015 Cy Young Award winner. Just some starters for the Braves that they have to go along with that. Soroka, they have Max Fry, they have Kevin Gausman, and now you're adding in Dallas Keuchel, which could be pretty scary if he comes up hot.
No, plus Kimbrel signed too. He signed a 3-year, $42 million deal with the Cubs. So there's no big free agents left now.
I think the Cubs got the better deal there because the Cubs are just so hot right now. They locked in. They went all in for that. They locked in, and now they have an elite closer. They have great starters. Their team is just rocking in first place right now.
And now it's going to leave the Yankees up to Cashman doing his magic and making deals. And I know they're looking at Stroman from Toronto, and I know they're looking at Bumgarner, which I don't know if I want Bumgarner. His ERA is getting elevated. It's almost up to 5 now, and he has anger problems.
I don't. Yeah. What was funny is Muncy hit a home run off him yesterday, and
he wasn't running fast enough for him apparently.
Bumgarner's trying to say stuff, and I guess he didn't like the way he was standing and watching the ball, and he said to him, "If you don't like it, go get it out of the ocean."
Yeah.
Which I thought was hilarious. But I like Stroman. I'd go all in for Stroman. I think
he's got a good ERA this year, and
he brings a lot of swagger to your team. I personally
plus
always,
he's young. But
yeah.
But the Yankees are in trouble now. Herman, he's on the injured list. Tanaka's on maternity leave. So we're barely staying afloat now. And
Stroman only has 3 wins and 8 losses, but he's posting 3.31 ERA.
yeah.
But that you're playing for Toronto, who never gives you runs. He wants out of there. He said it in a polite way. Like, he hates losing. He's tweeted out about that. And
It's just hard for teams to trade in the same division.
yeah, it is.
And you said before we came on that there's teams looking at Estrada.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of young pieces, but
One thing I wanted to say about Dallas Keuchel is when his option was up with the Astros, they offered him $17.9 million, and he denied it. And now he signed a $13 million contract. So
I just think he wanted out of there.
I know, but it's almost like we were talking about this on the last podcast. Like, when you deny a certain situation, you never know if you're going to get that call again. Like, that's like that type of situation.
Well,
like,
he was pretty confident.
I mean, it took him almost half a season, though, to get that phone call.
Yeah.
That's just $17.9 million, dude, to play for a team that's dominating first place right now.
But now they can work on an extension. They can work on things now that he's landed it somewhere. But I don't know. I'm confused with what the Yankees are doing. They have the money to spend. I just don't know why they're not doing it. This isn't the Yankees of old. And George was there. He just spend. And I know they want to stay under that luxury tax. But you're tied for first place again with Tampa Bay, who is playing a lot better. And
Boston's only
only
7
out. Yeah. And they're starting I think a 3-game set with Texas, like I said before.
I know the Indians were one of the hotter teams. They won like last 9 in a row. But I mean, we were hitting the ball. It's not like we weren't hitting the ball.
Well, we blew leads.
I was watching the second game of the series, and the commentator was like, "It's almost like we're watching deja vu. The Yankees were up, and now they're losing." And like again, we were hitting the ball, but if you watch those games, those guys were making amazing plays. And then you have Gardner, who was struggling. He hit a home run last night or yesterday.
Not to mention Cleveland. I think Cleveland's hot, too.
I mean, Cleveland's they're 10.5 out from the Twins, so the Twins have 43 wins. But Gardner was in a slump. He was 0-15, and he slams his helmet down, and it comes back and hits him in the face and busts his lips open. I
saw that.
That was funny. But he hit a home run yesterday. Hicks came clutch yesterday. They went in extras. Didi comes back. And it just went off. I heard he had an error yesterday, though, in the 9th inning. I didn't get to watch that.
Yeah,
game.
He even said it was a bad throw. But
his first hit of him coming back, first pitch, he swings and gets thrown out at second base, trying to extend it to a double.
And what did I tell you? DJ LeMahieu went to first base.
Well, they're going to rotate everybody.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's got a better glove than Voit. I could see Voit playing a lot more DH.
They're not gonna. You know why? Because Voit right now is leading the league in the All-Star voting for first base. How are you not going to play him if he's leading the league in All-Star voting?
But when it comes down to defense, you got to pick the better glove, and I think DJ has a better glove than Voit.
That's true, but Voit doesn't play a lot of first base.
It doesn't matter. He plays every position, and that's why they brought him. And they said when someone is resting, he's going to be on the field. He's going to be playing every day.
I think that we're going to have such a good team that you're just going to be rotating. Everyone's going to get a break. Like, every 2 days you're going to get a break, and someone's going to play.
We just have got to figure our pitching out because now Betances isn't coming back. They don't know what's wrong with him. He had a setback. No word on Severino. I mean, he's been throwing. Now they're saying July. They're saying Montgomery's coming back in August. But at that point, why even bring him back? By the time he gets reps down in the minors, I mean, you're into September. You might as well just leave him out.
What's nice is that the game with the Mets tonight was postponed. So that gives you a day to reset with your pitchers. They could probably do another bullpen day. But what the Yankees really need to do right now is they need to trade for somebody. Whether it's, like, maybe even if it's not a Stroman, like, you need to get someone. We have a lot of injuries right now. Herman, I wouldn't rush him back. You need him healthy.
I would love to see them go all in for Greinke.
I don't know.
I think Greinke is just a stud.
I haven't heard a lot about him this year.
He's pitching very well. I mean, he's another one of those pitchers that will give you a lot of innings and it keeps his ERA down. Just our right now, our just
Greinke's getting
our
old, though. I
rotations-
wouldn't want to give up prospects, so for Greinke, I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, we got to do something because Hap's nowhere where he was last year. Last year he was untouchable. This year he can't find the strike zone. CC, you're only good for CC for so many games until he gets his knee inflamed again.
Greinke is putting up good numbers this year. He's 7-2 with a 2.87 ERA, 82 strikeouts, and 87 innings pitched.
You know, and then Tanaka's hit or miss. He's up or down.
I know, dude. I know. Like we need to go after somebody. You know,
But
honestly,
I don't even know if one person does it. I think we got to make a couple trades. We got to get more pitching in there.
I mean, you think about the Yankees in the past 5 years. We never had a dominant starter rotation.
No,
We've always had home run hitters. We've always had an elite bullpen.
and it's always been our bullpen.
When's the last time they went out and traded for an elite starter? I mean, we got Hap and Paxton this year. I mean, they're not great, but they're good.
No, and Paxton, he's another one. He's injury prone. He never stays healthy. We just need a solid guy that can give you 200-plus innings a year. And even Herman, they're saying he's on an inning count because it's his first true season. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're going to cut him off. I mean, he's already up to 70 innings, 80 innings. I don't know what they're going to cap him at. But the Yankees have problems, and they have to figure them out. And I know every team goes through this. They go through the lows and stuff, but the Rays aren't going away. I thought for sure by now they would have started plummeting. They're not. They got one of the best pitching staffs in baseball, and they're hitting the crap out of the ball. They have a 96-run differential. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't even know who the Yankees honestly could trade for. I don't know many starting. You know, I saw some stupid report that the one reliever from the Indians, I don't remember his name, he pitched great against the Yankees the other night, and they were like, maybe the Yankees should go after him. And it's like, we already have an elite bullpen. We need to start a pitcher.
You're going to have to look at the teams that are basically out of it.
Yeah.
You know, the Giants, the Padres are now 12 out. Arizona's 11 out. Colorado's 11 out. The Washington Nationals, which everyone said they were going to have a fire sale, they're only 7 games out.
Well, they were saying that if the Indians, by the All-Star break, if they're, basically out of it, that you're going to see a lot of people go.
Yeah, but they're 10.5 out. I mean, but what are they out in the wild card? I mean, that's the thing you got to look at. The wild card standings, where are they at?
I don't know. I mean, I'd love to.
Because if they're only a game out of the wild card, they're not going to sell.
There's probably a lot of good. I mean,
if they're only a game and a half out of the wild card.
I mean, I wouldn't mind taking Madison Bumgarner. I mean, he's been injured, but at this point, I'd take anybody. We didn't get Dallas Keuchel, but I don't know.
The Texas Rangers right now, Boston Red Sox, Cleveland Indians, and Oakland Athletics, they're all right there for the wild card. So you got to look who's not. I mean, even Arizona, they're only 2.5 out of the wild card. San Diego's only 3.5 out. There are teams that are really done. Washington's 6 out in the wild card, but they're still, that's still the teetering point. The Giants, they're done. Marlins are done. The Reds are somewhat there. Baltimore, I don't think Baltimore has anything that we want. Toronto's 11.5 out, so if we could work a deal with Stroman, that'd be great. We got to do something.
I saw the Nationals went back to back home runs last night. And that's only happened 3 times in MLB history.
Yeah, I saw that too, and they were going crazy. But I thought for sure that the Nationals would be the team in that division. Really did. Never saw this going flat.
Oh, I did. I called it. I mean, I said that they would be good, that they would be decent. I didn't say they'd win that division. You picked them to go to the World Series, but
yeah,
I did.
I saw this stat the other day. What the heck was it? Nobody's thrown a perfect game in baseball for the last 7 years. The last person to do it was Roy Halladay from the Phillies in 2012.
What was it, Homer Bailey before that?
I think so.
Well, not Homer Bailey. Roy Halladay's son just got drafted, didn't he?
Yeah.
So,
And they're saying like all these different stats that are coming out. They're saying that the usage of the fastball is declining every year. Off-speed pitches are up because batting averages are down compared to where they used to be as far as off-speed. And the average velocity, which I don't see this. The average velocity in Major League Baseball right now for a fastball is 92 miles an hour.
What?
Yep.
I thought that they said the average fastball was like 95 and above.
Nope, 92.4 is it's an all-time low of usages from 2019. It's at 52.8%, and the batting average off a fastball is 262. Last year it was at 55%, and the average for curveballs and sliders is at 232. So off-speed pitches, you're even seeing it with full counts. They're throwing off-speed more and more. That can't be good for their arms.
No. They're saying Christian Yelich and Cody Bellinger are the MVP battles right now. If you had to pick an MVP right now, who would you pick?
Oh, God. I don't know. It's really early.
I mean,
It's really early.
Yeah. I mean, Cody Bellinger.
I mean, how
is going off?
Yeah, but can they sustain that for another half of a season? I mean, he's batting 355. Yelich is 340.
Yelich is just on a different level this year.
Austin Meadows, I mean, he's batting 346. I never even heard of Austin Meadows before this year.
No, Austin Meadows, he was on the Pirates, and he was actually a really good prospect for them. And then they traded him when they got Chris Archer, and he has been going off for the Rays. I don't know if I'd say he's MVP material right now, just because of how well Christian Yelich and Cody Bellinger are stealing the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
But Christian Yelich hit his 24th home run, and I never saw that. Like, you think 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when he was with Miami, like, he was just a skinny guy that was a good baseball player. He was all right.
You know, it's funny. You look at these stats, like home runs, 24. I mean, that's like season stats. You know what I mean?
I know.
24 home runs. Some of these guys got over 50, almost 60 RBIs already.
I mean, you think on the way they're going, they're going to hit almost 40 home runs this year if they stay hot.
They have to do something because these stats are crazy. Like, they got to juice the balls or something.
And you can't change baseball. I don't like when people try and change baseball. If someone's good, they're good. You know, Babe Ruth was good.
It's just like it's no longer a pitcher's league. You don't see pitchers dominating anymore.
No, I mean, that's not true. There's pitchers that still dominate. It's just some pitchers get old and they lose their stuff. No?
Rue still has a 1.35 ERA.
Dude, I know. That's crazy.
Him and Soroka. Mike Soroka.
Yeah, he's
1.38.
He's on the Braves.
You know, I wish the Yankees would go after Max Scherzer. Could you imagine having him? He's a beast.
I mean, you would think with the Nationals dropping that, maybe they would trade that. I mean, I don't see them getting rid of their core pitching, though, and there's a lot of money they have left in their contracts. But, yeah. I mean, I would happily take Max Scherzer in a heartbeat. Let's be real. He doesn't have a beard, so you don't even got to worry about that.
I'm just looking at, like, Luis Castillo from Cincinnati. He's another one that's out there. You know,
Cincinnati they're rebuilding, so.
Greinke. Who else?
I don't know. You want to move on?
Even Cole Hamels, he's having a good year. Whoever thought that?
Who's he with now? He got traded from the
Cubs.
Rangers. I thought he was with the Cubs.
Yeah, he's having a good year.
He's having a really good year. He's always been good, though.
Yeah, Trevor Richards from Miami Marlins. 3.31 ERA. Man, there's guys out there that I'm trying to find Stroman, see where he's ranked.
Stroman was like a 3 ERA, 3.4.
Yeah. Trying to see where he ranks amongst the AL leaders.
Before we move on, we're going to talk about how Michigan beat number 1 UCLA and it's going to be facing Texas Tech.
I believe they're facing Texas Tech. Texas Tech's in. The way it looks like they're in that same bracket, which would be very interesting because we would have to get Max back on here from the Daily Torador.
Well, Max, who was just on here, he was actually just on the Fox Sports radio show, and they texted him to come on, and he was talking about the Texas Tech baseball team, which is pretty awesome for him.
It's amazing how good they're doing. They really are. They're having a great season down there.
Now, could you imagine playing and you know you got drafted and you got like this biggest chip on your shoulder? Like, yeah, I just got drafted.
Marcus Stroman is ranked 12th in ERA in the American League.
Dude, I want him. I want him bad. I think that he'd bring a lot of swagger to this team. He would fit. He would fit with our team. Just think his swagger and the team, like the players, like Aaron Judge has a lot of swagger. Clint Frazier.
If the Yankees put him on our team right now, he would have the best ERA on our team. Tanaka is right one spot below him at 3.42. Herman, who was under 3, is now almost pushing 4. So his last couple starts have been kind of on the wrong end of the spectrum.
I think if you're the Yankees GM, you got to pull the string. We need a starting pitcher. If we want to win this division, you need to pull that string. Give up a prospect and go after him.
Yeah, I mean Happ he's ranked. We're just seeing he's 28th. He's almost pushing a 5.
Happ's just not the same guy as last year. I mean, last year he had like 1 loss.
Yeah, I last year he was untouchable. I don't know what happened. He can't get that fastball in on the hands. I don't even see Paxton ranked. Probably because he's been injured, doesn't have enough starts.
All right, let's move on from baseball. Biggest news right now in the NFL would probably be Carson Wentz signing a 4-year, $128 million contract.
Oh, that hurts Dallas so bad.
Yeah. $107.9 million guaranteed. And this is where it gets me. This is where it hurts my heart a little bit, okay? When he signs his name, $66 million right off the bat. Could you just imagine signing your name on a piece of paper and knowing you got $66 million in your bank account?
And, they're given – I'm looking at all the off-season grades. They just gave the Eagles an A, and they said it would be an A+, but the only thing they didn't address was their backup quarterback. Oh, man. That right there, that kills the Cowboys because the Cowboys are playing this waiting game.
Don't even talk about Dallas right now. You know this kills? Right here. Ready for this? Patrick Mahomes gets an extension after the season. Do you know how much that money is going to skyrocket?
Oh, yeah.
You just think about that. Carson Wentz, okay, who's had 1 good year so far. 4 years, $128 million. You got Patrick Mahomes, MVP. I couldn't even guess the number. I don't know what he's going to get.
Well, listen for a second. You hear that?
No.
That's what's going on right now in Dallas because Dak Prescott, whatever offer that Cowboys gave him, he just shook his head at it. Nope. Because their bid was for 32 to 33 million, and Dallas came in way low, and we were hoping around 30 they would come up with. But this year,
what's he looking for?
This just kicked that wide open now. Now this just pushed it above. He's not going to settle for 30 million. His stats are way better than Wentz's, and he's not going to settle for anything less than 32 now.
See, my view on this whole thing, and I've given the Eagles a lot of good credit this year. I hate this deal. I hate this deal because Wentz, 2016, went 7-9. 2017, MVP year, okay? I give him that, 11-2. Then he got injured, okay? Tore his ACL.
Yeah, but we talk about this all the time. It's no longer a show-me league.
It doesn't make sense, though, because he comes back in 2018, and only he goes. It doesn't
matter.
He went 5-6.
It doesn't matter.
His total record so far, where is it at? I wrote this down. I don't even know.
It doesn't matter. It's no longer a show-me league. It's who got what and how much can I get now. These super agents, they know how to play it.
Listen, he's dynamic when he's on the field, but he's been injured twice already.
I know. He's been injured since college, but it doesn't matter. I keep telling you that. And do you think this is bad? Wait till next year. The cornerback market is the next market to change. And Dallas is going to be in trouble with this again because, now that they're paying safeties at $12 to $14 million and cornerbacks, these shutdown cornerbacks are only making $6-7 million. There's going to be a lot of cornerbacks in the league that are going to be pushing the envelope now to make $10, $12, $14 million. And it's going to start with Byron Jones. The Cowboys, they have an option to pick him up and get a deal done with him, but there's not enough money in the Jerry Jones piggy bank down there.
You know what sucks, too, is Michael Thomas is a free agent next year.
Yeah. And the league is going to be, you might as well not even buy a jersey anymore because these guys are going to go where the money is. It's no longer, because the teams can't afford to sign multiple big-name players anymore because of the cap. They got to open the cap up.
It mind blows me. I've talked to a lot of Eagles fans, and they all agree with me that he should have at least did another prove-it-year deal. I'm not saying Carson Wentz is a bad quarterback. I'm just saying he's been in the league for 3 years, and he's only played 1 full season. Yeah. I mean, last year he almost played the full season, but then he missed the last 2 games. Okay? And it's not even like he got here's like an $80 million contract, like 4 or 5 years. If you do good, we'll give you that max extension. Russell Wilson, okay, he's been in the league for a while. He just hit his 4-year, $140 million contract.
Well, apparently the Eagles aren't worried about his long-term durability because they gave him the deal.
And but just, you know what's crazy too? It's only 4 years. That means when that 4 years up, he's going to get another max contract.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane how much we pay athletes?
You know what's sad? If Dak don't sign a contract this year, he's only making $600,000 this year. Wentz will be getting 10 times the amount of what he's going to be making.
Dude, it just mind blows me how much we pay these athletes to play a sport every Sunday.
Yeah, I seriously, I don't see the Cowboys and Dak working a deal out anytime soon, because this year, and if they sign if Goff gets signed before this, and it's even more, forget it. You might as well forget about Amari Cooper getting an extension. You might as well stop worrying about Zeke getting an extension.
Zeke's gonna go. You're not gonna have enough money for Zeke.
Because
let's be real, they're gonna
not gonna have enough money for any of these.
They're gonna give Dak a little bit more money than Carson Wentz. You have to now.
Well, they're gonna say who do we need more, Zeke or Dak, and they're gonna pick Dak over Zeke because you can throw any running back. Yeah.
I agree with you on that. I hate how there's players that come out and they'll be like, I want to get paid as much as he got paid. You're not that guy. You know what? You're your own guy. You just make a good deal.
But these guys know you're in the league, and your career is only so many years. It's a money grab. Get as much as you can and get out. Because money. As soon as you get hurt, it's the next guy up, and the next guy up could be better than you, and then that's it. You're done. Look at Todd Gurley. Look at the stuff he's going through now. They're saying they're going
to limit him now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he was dealing with that knee problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing, too. Carson Wentz doesn't play with his knee brace this year. That's huge, man. You know how many quarterbacks still play with their knee? Matt Ryan still plays with his knee brace. Tom Brady still plays with his knee brace. You mess that, what's it to him now? He's got so much money guaranteed. And I'm not trashing Carson Wentz. I personally like Carson Wentz as a person, too. He's a great man. He's a great football player. I give him that.
And he's young. How old is he?
Early 20s still, probably mid-20s.
So he's gonna get another deal after this.
Yeah,
so this really is show me deal.
Yeah, $128 show me deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like, this is a little crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah, they're even saying that the Cowboys better hurry up and get this deal done before the Rams secure Goff, because the floor will no longer be $32 million. It might be even $35. Could you imagine that? Taking a guy who was making $600,000 and turning him into a $35 million a year deal? No way. No way.
I saw Jenkins finally return to minicamp. He was like gone for a while. No one knew what was going on.
So we're in the era now where a family of 4 can no longer enjoy a pro NFL game.
Why?
You know what it'll cost for you all to go to an NFL football game, buy tickets,
you think
buy
people,
food.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You think 2 people, you're dropping almost $150 for a ticket, for 2 tickets each. Isn't that insane?
Mm-hmm.
The world we live in? That's crazy.
Yeah.
You go to a stadium nowadays and a water bottle, it costs you like $6. You can get a case of water for that much.
I'm reading this article and they're saying Dak Prescott's stats are almost equivalent to Russell Wilson's. Accuracy and everything.
A lot of people do trash Dak Prescott just simply because he's on the Cowboys, and I get it. He makes mistakes, but if you look at his stats, he's a good quarterback.
I'm a Romo guy, so
let's be real. I like Romo too, but he's gone. You gotta get over it. I'm a Drew. Let's be real. Let's be real. I'm a Drew Brees guy, and it's gonna suck when he leaves.
The thing about Dak that really irritates me is he's not a guy that will throw a receiver open. He throws to an open receiver, which means he'll never make that tight window throw. It's either he's too afraid to or he just doesn't want to. And that kills him. You know the routes. You know where their breaks and their cuts are. You should be firing the ball. Good quarterbacks throw that ball before they even turn. Yeah. Dak doesn't do that.
We've watched that too again.
And how many times last year have we yelled at the TV, and Noah did too,
I don't yell
where
at it.
Dak is in the pocket and he's just standing there, and then he takes a bad sack and fumbles the ball.
Yeah. I said this from the get-go. I think Dak needs a good quarterback coach.
Well, he's got it this year. He's got
Kellen
Kitna.
Moore.
He got Kitna, and they're just saying.
Dude,
Kitna,
I'm not gonna lie. Like everyone's making fun of Kellen Moore, but I got a feeling like something big's gonna come out of that.
Yeah, they're saying Kitna too. Kitna has been working on Dak's footwork, and
He
says it is really showing in camp. the way he's releasing the ball, the way he's throwing the ball. I'm excited for the year. I really am. I keep saying this. It's going to come down. Well, I shouldn't even say this anymore because in my gut, I just have this gut feeling Eli Manning and the Giants are going to go off this year because they have an easy schedule.
I think you need to worry about the Redskins, dude. For low key, I think the Redskins
are a mess. They don't
dude,
even have,
good defense. Good defense, young quarterback.
They have no receivers. One of their offensive linemen he just got thrown out. He quit because he threw a temper tantrum. I just, everyone bashes Eli Manning, but I heard him talking about it again on the radio. He had his best statistical year last year, and I just with their schedule. I just think that as long as their defense plays somewhat good, if you have a good offense that's putting up 20 to 30 points a game, you could win. Your defense just has to show up and get a couple stops. But I think they're the team that no one's talking about, and they could sneak up on you.
You know what's crazy is that when you go on Bleacher Report for football, the first 4 articles you see is 4 people that are skipping minicamp because all these people want these big contracts.
Well, I heard that the Browns were a little ticked off with Odell Beckham because he didn't show up for OTAs.
It's voluntary, though.
I understand that, but when you're going to a new team, it's not like he's been with this team forever.
I mean, he's there
with
now.
A new team, new coach, new quarterback, new everything. You should be there, and you just signed a deal with them. You're the biggest name basically on that team. You should be there.
You're absolutely right. I agree with you.
Same with stupid Le'Veon Bell. Did you hear about that dummy?
Yeah.
He got robbed. He had 2 girlfriends at his house while he was at the gym, and they robbed him over $500,000 worth of jewelry.
I did hear that.
And he wasn't even sure if the people that he knew them by a certain name. He doesn't even know if that was their real name. These people could have just stole $500,000 of jewelry, and they don't even know who they are. It's crazy.
That's stupid on his part.
It's crazy.
Doesn't he have a wife?
I have no idea, but when they said he had 2 girlfriends at the house, I was like, yep, trouble.
Dang. I mean, take a little trip down to Miami. You got Ryan Fitzpatrick and Josh Rosen, who was just traded there. And Ryan Fitzpatrick currently, right now, is leading that battle for now. For now, is in quotations. 36-year-old gunslinger is standing out for Miami. It was crazy how there was Fitzmagic early with Tampa Bay. And I don't know what happens to people. I don't know. I want to if we could ever get certain people on this podcast, I want to be like, what happens when you go 3-0, and then you just lose every single game after that? Yeah. How does that happen?
Well, it depends. Who are the 3 teams that you played to get to 3-0?
No, those first 3 games they played, they beat the Saints, and then they beat the Eagles. I don't remember what the third one was.
The NFL just the other day came out with this 2019 best receiving core in the NFL. You want to know what the top 5 is? Just
receiving core.
Yeah, give me one team and I'll tell you if you're in there or not.
For top 5?
Top 5.
Hold on. Okay, let me think here. Well, Cleveland Browns, they probably put up there.
Cleveland Browns are number 1.
I don't know how I feel about that. Listen, I like Landry, but I don't think Landry's as good as he used to be.
But they still have young kids that they drafted that are really good too.
Houston Texans. Are you kidding me?
Not even in top 5.
Fuller, Hop. Oh my god.
Not even top 5.
I guess he didn't put the Falcons up there.
Falcons are number 2,
which I don't agree with.
Falcons are number 2. All right, so you got Cleveland number 1. You got Atlanta number 2.
I think Sanu is old.
Okay, come on, 3 more spots.
Eagles. I bet you $5 to put the Eagles in there.
Eagles are number 3.
I'm good right now. It's crazy because I know
you're probably looking at it on your laptop.
No, I'm not. I literally I have pulled up right now is just teams.
2 more spots, and I bet you don't guess these 2. I never would have thought
Jets.
No.
Gosh, Budge.
One more guess, and I'll give them to you.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No. Number 4 is the Rams. Number 5 is the Chargers.
Oh, I was gonna guess the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. They don't even have the Cowboys in the top 10 or the Saints in the top 10.
I mean, I could see the Saints not being up there. I mean, Michael Thomas was one of the best receivers last year, hands down. You can't even tell me that's not true. Look at the stats. But we don't have a second guy to go with him. We don't. We have a lot of young, undrafted guys.
But you have a good quarterback that makes receivers look good.
Yeah, just like Tom Brady does.
Yeah.
My biggest thing with the Falcons is Julio Jones is good. But how many games did he go last year without scoring a touchdown?
I don't know, but they're projecting that.
Sanu is old. He's not as good as he used to be. I mean, yeah, they have that young prospect. He's good. I can't remember his name.
They're projecting that division to be the best in football.
What was his name? Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley's gonna be boss. The thing with the Cleveland Browns though is I know they got a lot of young guys.
They're only projecting them to win 9 games. I have them at like 11.
Landry, I'm gonna get this straight. Landry's a great receiver. Don't get me wrong, but Baker didn't throw to him a lot last year. I mean, they got a good young tight end.
They have a good problem, but they have a lot of egos there.
They do,
and they still have Duke Johnson who wants out, and now Baker Mayfield's talking crap, saying, "Well, if you don't want to be here, leave." You know, basically.
I mean,
which isn't good.
Your team puts you on the trade block. He has a good reason to want out.
Yeah,
I mean,
and not to mention they have 3 running backs there ahead of them.
I mean, you have Duke Johnson. Not Duke Johnson. Sorry, we're talking about Duke Johnson. You have Chubb, who's going to start, and then you have Kareem Hunt coming back. Let's be real. Duke Johnson's getting the odd guy out. Okay, and if somebody put me in the trade block, that to me shows they don't want me, and I want to be on a team that wants me. So I would want out too.
Yeah, but you didn't hear that from the organization, so you don't know if the organization actually did do that, or was
you,
it just
you
rumblings?
Know, you know if you're on the trade block. I mean, you're going to know. It's not that hard to find. I didn't mean to say that in a mean way. I was just saying.
They're ranking all the divisions by quarterbacks. And
I think Saints got to be number 1. Wait, what'd you say?
They're ranking the divisions by quarterbacks.
Oh, the Saints. I mean, the Saints could be up top 5, definitely. You got Cam Newton, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan.
Number 8 is the AFC East with Brady, Darnold, Allen, Fitzpatrick.
Who's number 1?
I'm getting there. 7 is the NFC East. Wentz, Prescott, Manning, and Haskins. They're already naming Haskins as the starter.
That's going to be a good... Dude, I'm not going to lie.
Number 6 is the AFC North.
Wait.
Roethlisberger,
Your
Mayfield,
division,
Dalton.
Your division's going to be a good division. Huh? I mean, just think about that young talent in your division.
Let's see. Who's number 1?
It's going to be the Saints. It's going to be the...
Oh, my God. They got...
NFC South?
The NFC North is 3rd with Rodgers, Cousins, Stafford, and Trubisky.
That's a good division.
I see the Chicago Bears falling off this year.
I don't. I think that's a great team.
The AFC West is number 2.
Wait.
Number 1 is the NFC South.
I knew. I called that.
Breeze, Ryan, Newton, and Winston.
Did you see those Chicago Bears uniforms they dropped?
Yeah.
Dude, those were sick. That's like a...
They're only wearing them for 2 games, and one's the Cowboys game.
Everyone's saying they should wear them all the time, but I like the Bears' regular uniforms too. No, I think the NFC South has a great quarterback duo, man. Matt Ryan, let's face it, Matt Ryan is going through like what Drew Brees went through. You have a good quarterback, and a team just doesn't have to. They don't find it.
Well, let's face it. The NFL is a passing league now with all the rules, and you can't touch anybody, and you can't do this, you can't do that.
And let's be real, you don't even see many running backs. You see a lot of passing running backs now. Yeah. All right, Golden State coming down to their loss tonight. They're loss. They're going to lose tonight. I'm calling it right now. Toronto is going to win the finals right now. They are currently up 3-1 going back home.
I don't think so.
Before we talk about that.
I don't think so.
I think so. I don't think KD is going to help. But before we talk about that, before we talk about our predictions, let's talk about the big bear in the room. Big bear, which involves part owner shoving Kyle Lowry and screaming at him, "Go F yourself," during the game. This guy's name is Mark Stevens. He's 59 years old. He Golden State Warriors investors.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
He was banned for 1 season and $500,000. Now, before we did this podcast, we were watching Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp talk about this, and they did the math. Okay, this guy has so much money that this $500,000 fine to him is equivalent to $22.
Yep. I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong, and I don't think he's better than anybody else. And they talked about that too. If a regular fan put their hands or did anything like that to a player, they probably would be arrested. They'd be banned for life. But this guy, because he's a billionaire, he gets a little slap on the wrist. I'm sorry. I think they should force him to sell his share of the team.
It's because. All right, so the not the NFL, the NBA league said because he says they've never had a problem with him, and he apologized right away and like tried to message Kyle Lowry that they only gave him a 1-year ban. Like they were talking about too, like what if Drake, who's been crazy all
he's
finals,
just a fan, he's a super fan.
What if Drake pushed one of these guys? Drake would be ripped a new one, like he'd be banned for a while.
I'm sure nothing would happen because he's a celebrity as well. But my thing is when all that controversy went on and the Clippers, they forced that owner to sell his team. Why don't they make this guy sell his share of the team? You know, there's investors out there that'll buy it.
It happened early in the fourth quarter when Kyle Lowry tried to save a ball that was going foul, and he crashed into the seats. Stevens says he accepts the punishments, but I just think that there's players that are saying that he doesn't even belong in the league, and I agree with that. I think that this is – I mean, you represent the Golden State Warriors, and you sit courtside, and to curse at a player all game saying, go F yourself, and you're going to shove him – you're going to go out of your way and shove him.
You know, my thing is
I would force him to sell that. I mean, you're not going to represent the Golden State Warriors like that.
Basketball is the only professional sport where there's no kind of barrier to keep these fans back. I mean, these people are literally right on the court. They should push them back further, go 2 or 3 rows up into the seats. Don't let people, I mean, you see people sitting.
Only like media and stuff should be that close.
You see people sitting right courtside, and that should not be allowed. Just like that guy for the Sixers, that old guy with the white hair. We see him all the time. He's right there on the scorer's table.
He walks on the floor and high fives everybody.
Yeah.
And you've seen that a lot this year. There's a lot of players that have come out and say we have no protection. Like they can touch us, but we can't touch them. If we were to push back, we're in trouble.
There's no kind of safety feature. I mean, and if something did break out, there's not enough security in those places. I mean, I remember the brawl in the Palace that time when the Indiana Pacers were playing Detroit Pistons, and Oran Artest got hit with something that was thrown from the crowd, and they went up and they started fist fighting with people in the crowd. They should have like a wall, or they should have something. I mean, most of those arenas have hockey games there. Like the Flyers, they play there. There's the wall still there, just the glass is down. Have everyone start sitting behind there and then working their way up.
I don't know. The game starts at 9 p.m. tonight.
I don't think they're done. I don't think they're done. I think this is going to be a 7-game series. I really do. I think the momentum's going to turn. They're champions for a reason. I don't want to see them win it, but I don't think this is done yet. I really don't.
What's crazy, if you look at last game, the Warriors balled out. Klay Thompson came back and went off. Cousins was great impact. Curry played well.
Yeah, but Toronto
played better.
Great.
Their defense is better. And
the
Kawhi Leonard is the best right now.
The other night, everyone for Toronto shot over 50%, which was like the first time in NBA history. Everyone that took a shot over 50%. They were on. They moved the ball well, and just everything was flowing for them. It's going to be loud in Toronto tonight.
Oh, it's going to be so I'm excited to watch it.
It's going to be loud.
But they're saying with KD coming back, that opens up Steph Curry and Klay Thompson to shoot a little bit more. I don't think KD's going to have a huge impact. I think he's still going to be limping this injury. I think you can't stop Kawhi. No matter who you put on him, he's going to ball out.
You know, the thing that aggravates me about Durant, though, is the whole time he was injured, not one game did he sit out on the court side with his teammates. He stays in the locker room. It's just odd. You're a team player. Get your butt out there and be with your team. I don't understand.
That should be mandatory.
I don't understand why they allow that. And how about Kawhi Leonard buying a house in Toronto? Is that just like a little smoke screen, just to get the juices flowing for the off season? Because you could always sell it, or is he staying in Toronto?
I don't see why you wouldn't want to stay in Toronto. I mean, you led this team to the finals. I like Kawhi, man. He's a quiet guy. They were bringing up stuff from college, like his trash talk, and it was the funniest thing ever. Like he would just like grab the ball from the rebound. He'd be like bored. That's all he would say. And it's just he's such a quiet, humble guy, and he lets his game speak. And I love players like that.
I can't wait to the offseason. Like we said this before, the offseason is going to be one of the best with so many big names on the move again. What's going to happen in Lakerland with LeBron? Will he even be there, or will the Lakers cut ties with him? There's so many unanswered questions. The Sixers have so many moves. I'd love to have your buddy on from work so we could talk about basketball.
Anthony Davis says he wants to go with either Lakers or Knicks, but the Pelicans are saying that they're open to a multi-team deal. And I don't think they're ready just to collapse. I think they want some really good key players, and they should get some really good key players because let's face it, you're going to draft Zion. If you don't draft Zion, you're dumb. Zion's going to be better than LeBron.
Well, there's a couple people that were already saying that there are players in there that they could take ahead of Zion. Depends what their team need is. So,
if they were smart,
I mean, that pick is worth a lot right now.
No, I wouldn't trade that pick. What I would do is imagine you could somehow get like a pick, like 2 picks later, and you draft JT.
But like if they draft,
JT to go with him.
say they drop back to the 2nd or 3rd pick and they traded away that number 1 pick, plus they got a first round next year. I mean, say they really don't want Zion.
That's stupid, man.
But the Knicks want Zion, and they work a deal with the Knicks. You know, they get the Knicks next 5 years worth of first round picks. You know, you
I'm
never
telling you, Zion
know.
is a once in a lifetime player. You don't want to pass on him.
I know, but
I'm just saying, if you were a GM right now,
when you're building for the future,
if you were a GM right now, you're telling me you wouldn't take Zion?
is Zion going to get you a championship?
Yeah, I think Zion will get me a championship.
With the
you
team that's there?
build around Zion. No?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. Because now if they had Anthony Davis staying, maybe.
If I was the GM right now, I wouldn't be trying to keep Anthony Davis because he wants gone. I would be trying to get the best shooters out of Anthony Davis, and then I would draft Zion. He's going to be my big man, and you're going to build around Zion, just like the Sixers built around Embiid and Simmons.
Yeah, I don't know. If I would have to look at the whole situation. If I was a GM, I'd be doing my homework right now. I'd be like, is Zion going to get us the championship next year? Probably not. But who's offering me what for that first round pick? My phone will be open right now for all the calls, seeing who's offering what.
Zion could be the next LeBron James, even better than LeBron James.
But is that really a good thing?
Yes.
Is that really a good thing? Look,
yes.
I mean,
skill-wise, yes. Take away the egos and the personality.
You got an egotistical
skill-wise.
goofball that he wins championships, but he's just full of himself.
I'm not talking about like his personality. I'm talking about skill-wise. Skill-wise, he is gonna be like LeBron James. Like, this guy's a monster.
Well, it's gonna all depend. Like, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna have a sale down there where they get rid of everybody? I mean.
Well, they said
if you're truly building for the future and you can get yourself 4 or 5 first round picks instead of that one, I might take that deal.
They said that the Pelicans have 2 options right now. They could trade Anthony Davis for a first round pick and completely rebuild around Zion Williamson.
But that's the thing. Are you going to get a first-round pick for him?
You're going to get a first-round pick. Like you said.
How many people want to deal with him, though?
Like you said, there's only 2 good rounds in NBA, and you want that first pick.
I understand that, but how many people are going to be like, yep, let's give up a first-round pick for Anthony Davis, who might not want to come to our team in the first place, which means he might not sign an extension, so we might do what the Sixers do, give away picks for rentals.
I mean, we gave a first-round pick away for Tobias Harris.
Yeah, and look where we're at right now. There's no guarantees.
I'm just saying. The second option, they said, is you trade Anthony Davis for key players, like maybe all the Lakers players that you wanted. And you build. Speaking of that,
there's nothing on the Lakers I'd want.
I would take Kuzma. I'd take Lonzo Ball. I think Lonzo Ball's a great player.
Lonzo Ball's a good 6th player off the bench. He's not a starter on my team.
I'd let him be a starter.
He's not a starter on the Sixers.
He'd be a starter on the Sixers.
Who are you benching?
Who we re-signing?
If you have everybody there that's there now, who are you benching?
Who we re-signing?
Well, hopefully everybody.
Hopefully. There's people on the Lakers that came out and said once LeBron talked about the AD trade talks, everything went down. Pulled that plug.
Well, that's a whole mess out there. Magic Johnson, the whole backstabbing everyone. They're backstabbing him, and
could you imagine?
It's gonna get ugly.
Could you imagine being a young guy? And you're like, man, I'm going to go play LeBron James. Like, he recruited me. He wants me to be there. And you get there, and you guys are playing great, and you just hear those rumors, like him saying, like, yeah, you should trade these players. Imagine you were one of those players. Imagine that feeling you had, like, knowing LeBron James, who I idoled, he wants me gone. Like, he doesn't even want me to be part of his team. Like, what kind of captain is that?
I wouldn't want to go there. I'd rather want to play with Michael Jordan.
Well, Michael Jordan ain't playing anymore.
I'm just saying. I'll take Michael Jordan now at his age over LeBron James.
I mean, that's not a captain. The captain doesn't say trade these players away. Captain plays the best ball he can play.
Some players
and lets the front end do the management.
Some players become so big and so full of themselves, they're a cancer. Just like Kyrie Irving. He's a cancer. Everywhere he goes, there's drama.
And again, this is why I personally like Kawhi Leonard. You don't see... Obviously, there was drama with him with San Antonio, but it wasn't with players. It was with the coaching
Kawhi
staff.
Leonard is never going to the Lakers to be with LeBron.
Like, what I love about Kawhi Leonard is you don't see him on social media. You don't see him talking crap. Like, when he does media interviews, it's so quick. He lets his game speak for him.
It doesn't matter what... even if I don't care if the Lakers get Anthony Davis, they're not winning a championship next year. Just those two pieces. And there's not enough talent.
I think if they get Kyrie,
Kuzma maybe, yeah, but
I think if they get Kyrie, if they get Kyrie, it's gonna be tough to play him.
All those players that are sitting there, like, yep, they're bringing all these big names. There goes my playing time. There goes my playing time. Yeah, there's gonna be such a bad chemistry on that situation and that team. I wouldn't want to be there.
I wouldn't either.
Sometimes the best thing to do is to cut the head off the animal and let it go. And the head right now is LeBron James. Let him go somewhere else.
All right. Before we get to the end of this podcast, you had Triple G beat, what was his name? Was it Rolls?
Rolls.
Rolls. Yeah. He beat Rolls, and that was a really good boxing match because
Triple G.
Right out of the gate, it looked like
he's got a heck of a chin on him.
Yeah, because right out of the gate, it looked like Rolls was going to win that fight. I mean, he snapped Triple G's neck back pretty hard, but what was crazy is not once did Triple G get, like, those those wicked legs. Like, he didn't look weak.
Like his legs were there.
He just kept going. He just kept going and going and going, and then you got to the fourth round, and Rolls is, like, guarding his face, and this is where it got weird because Triple G threw this hook, but, like, over his own head and hit Rolls on top of the head and just stunned him. And then he clobbered him with his left hook. And when a boxer falls straight on his face and doesn't catch himself, you know he's out. And he got to, like, the 8 count, and he looked up at the ref, and it was over.
And Rolls was talking crap all week, saying that, he's going to be the next Ruiz, the upset Triple G, and that he's been inspired by all this. And it was a good fight, but
Rolls was going to win. It looked like he was going to win that fight.
Triple G, I tell you what, he's a warrior, and I hope that sets up another fight with Canelo.
Well, yeah, he called out Canelo.
He said he's ready for him.
The trilogy, and after what happened last time when they fought, I hope they fight again.
I think they have to. They have to.
It didn't end in a good way. But Ruiz and Anthony Joshua are fighting again. They scheduled their fight. They didn't schedule an arena yet.
I mean, Triple G's record is 39-1-1 with 35 KOs at 37 years old.
It's crazy that, like, 37 years old. I mean, you're 45?
Yeah.
Just imagine you boxing. Like, I know you're not close. You're closer to 37 than I am.
You better give me, like, 5 years to get ready for a Triple G fight, and then I'm just gonna run around.
Could you imagine getting in the ring with him and just know?
I'm like, yo, how much am I gonna get for this fight? Just hit me once, I'm gonna fall down, and don't snap my neck back.
Could you imagine, like, you picture yourself hopping up in the ring, kind of like Brock Lesnar, getting your pecs all ready, and you bring your hands up, one punch, dude, one punch, he would knock me out.
Yo, Rolls is 19-1 with 10 KOs, 35 years old.
I picture you in the ring taking a punch.
Me in the ring.
I picture you in the ring taking a punch, and your legs get, like, all wobbly.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Go on, man, you can do it. Think of all the money we're gonna get."
I'll just run around that ring. It'll be the boringest fight ever.
No, I give it up to Triple G, man. That was freaking awesome for a little guy, 161 pounds, 37 years old. Man, he freaking throws a punch hard.
I seriously do hope they do the Canelo fight again. I think it'll be interesting. I think it'd be a big money fight. I think it'd be good to see. Ruiz is like an instant celebrity.
I know. There's been a lot of videos on him. I mean, if you look on YouTube, I watch a lot of boxing videos on YouTube, and all you see now is, like, old videos of Ruiz, and now, like, instead of having 50,000 views, it has, like, almost 1 million.
Yeah, his Instagram, we were watching it at work, and it went through the roof. He was at, like, 100-some thousand, and by the next, like, as like lunchtime, he was at 700-some thousand. But you know what? He's got a lot of power now. Yeah. Anthony, he wants to fight over in Europe.
He should fight Mexico.
Yeah, I'd be like, the only way we're fighting again is if you bring your butt over here and we're going down to Mexico.
I'd be scared. Dude, I'd be real scared.
I'd be like, if I'm coming over to Europe, I want more money.
What I like about Anthony Joshua is when you, like, because we talked about that, like, when big athletes like this, when they lose, typically, like, they're done. Like Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor kind of, like, lost a few times. You don't really see him much anymore. But he has a YouTube channel, and he posted a video. He said, like, listen, I'm not done. I'm not changing my trainers. Like, this is my first loss. Like, you learn from this. Like, you're going to get stronger. He's like, I'm not going to abandon my team because I lost. They've got me this far. Like, we're going to go back, work hard. He's got a lot. He's got great sportsmanship.
There was a lot on the line for that fight. He came in training for somebody else. It was the first fight in the United States, Madison Square Garden, the Mecca. I just think that overwhelms you. You know.
I don't know. It bothers me that people.
He didn't look right when he came into the ring.
It bothers me that people are trying to say that he botched that fight. Why would you botch your fight when you're undefeated? You want to botch your fight for your first loss?
Money talks. You don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I don't care what money you're paying. If I'm 30-0, that's like saying Mayweather, hey, I'll pay you like $500 million. You take your first loss. He ain't gonna take his first loss.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm just saying, dude. Like he's a good fighter. I don't care. I still root for him.
Yeah. Well, we have a bunch of guests that we are in contact with. We actually have three of them on the hook right now.
Yeah, we have about three of them.
3 of them are committed.
One of them is trying to get on this end of this week.
So they have to work on our schedule now because we started playing softball.
Yeah, we're getting famous. No, we're not getting famous, but we're getting a lot of people getting back to us now. So like now we gotta start making a schedule. Now we got big guys.
But we actually have. I don't want to say who they are because then you guys won't tune in if you don't like them.
Yeah, it's messed up.
We have a professional basketball player. We have a professional soccer player.
You're giving it away,
but they don't know who they are.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't like that person, you know.
Well, then that's too bad. We won't put the names on it. They just have to tune in. So, click that button. But we are seriously getting more names to actually come on, and the XFL is kicking off again. So there's going to be a lot of guys stepping up to play football again. Then we're going to be hitting some NFL, AFL players who are going to try out for the XFL. Johnny Manziel's already gone to that.
Cool big game on.
Yeah, doubt it.
You never know, man. I hit a Drew Brees probably once a month.
But Chris Dale, he's the winner of our little giveaway. We'll be contacting Chris to get him his gift card.
Just let us know what you want.
We're gonna have a bunch of other giveaways coming. We're working on them. See what we can do.
Yeah, I mean it's been a blast, guys. Like I said, our Facebook page, Everything Goes. You can find our up-to-date notifications on that. We're very active on that. We have Twitter @GoesEverything. And like I said, we're on Spotify, Google Music, and iTunes now to make it easier for you guys. And we still do post it on YouTube.
And we're actually working on a logo. Maybe we'll have some merch coming in the future.
I don't know about that. But I'm just kidding. We'll have that. Don't roll your eyes at me. We're keeping this in. No, but for real, just make sure when you search on those platforms, you search Everything Goes with Z, T, and K to make it easier for you. And just stay tuned, guys. Subscribe for us. Follow us on our platforms. It helps us out. Helps us get on the rise. And we'll see you guys next time.